Is fixing and flipping dead? You guys have heard me say this 1,000 times. I don't want to flip. I don't want to do fix and flips. People that are flipping stupid. In fact, you know why we have a dumpster here? Because flipping is nothing but trash, guys. It's freaking horrible. But you know what? We are flipping this house. I brought a whole bunch of people here so I can show them how we're making money. And more importantly, I want to show you guys the best person in this project, how much money they're putting in, how much money they're putting out, how much work they're putting in, and how much they're taking home. It's not me. The person who's making the most money here is not me. I want to break that down for you guys with this little fancy pen. Let's go into the project. And I'm also going to show you guys why fixing and flipping is so risky and why somebody like me would continue to fix and flip. Well, the answer is I'm doing with no money out of my pocket. So let's break it down. Come on in. All right, so this project actually came from Josh, somebody in the SubTo community. He's been in the SubTo community for 5 years, and so he's a little bit more advanced. What I want to do right here is break down the parties involved in this project, how they're making money, what skills they have, what risk they have, and where you can possibly fit in based on where you currently are in your phase, okay? So the seller of this house, living in the home for a considerable amount of time, was a family of 4, 2 kids, mom and dad. They wanted to move to Wyoming. Their house had been basically unrenovated for 40 years. And they said, I don't want to go sell through a real estate agent. So what they did is they called one of my students. His name is Josh. And Josh, who spends money on Google ads saying, I will buy your house cash, got a phone call from the seller. The seller and Josh met right here in the living room. Josh buys the house for $415,000. Now, Josh is a wholesaler. He learned how to wholesale from me inside the SubTo community. Surprise, surprise. I don't just teach creative finance. I teach A to Z real estate. So Josh gets the deal under contract. He then sells it to a girl in our community named Heidi. Heidi ends up making, this is crazy, check this out. Josh sells it to her for $440. So this is how this works. Josh, who has all the skill, he has the risk of putting money into Google ads, he has the negotiating ability, he has the follow through, he has all of these things that maybe you as a brand new person don't have. Right? This took him years to get really, really good at. Josh sells this to Heidi and makes $25,000 just selling the contract. Now, what contract, you might ask? The contract between the seller and Josh is called the A to B contract. I'm going to give you guys a copy of that A to B contract in the description down below. It costs about $3,000 to have an attorney draft a really good wholesale agreement. I'll give that to you guys down below. Now, Josh has this A to B contract for $415. He goes and opens title at getcreativetitle.com. That's who we use. That's who most people now in the real estate industry are using, Creative Title and Escrow. So he takes this contract to getcreativetitle.com. He then sells the contract to Heidi and they get a new contract together. And that contract is called the B to C contract. Now, Heidi, she knows I'm a buyer in town. And so she sends the deal over to us and she sells it to me, okay, me and my team, Pace and Molly. She sells it to Pace and Molly for $465,000. Think about this for a second. The person who has all the risk is right here, Josh, and the other person that has all the risk is Pace. But Heidi, who's a SubTo member, she learned how to just bird dog. She literally just learned how to bird dog and she made $25,000 for maybe 15 minutes worth of work. Pretty incredible. Now, this $25,000, if you guys want to learn how you can bird dog as well, we have this incredible training. It's down in the description down below. I show you guys exactly how you can be a bird dog. This person has no risk. They don't need to know how to comp. They need $0, literally $0. So Heidi, who has no risk, no money, no skills, no nothing, made 25 grand. Cool. $465,000. Now, you might ask, where does your $465,000 come from? How are you doing this fix and flip? If you don't like fix and flips, why are you doing it? Well, I'm doing fix and flips because, one, I feel like the market is stabilized. I feel like interest rates are going to do nothing but go down over the next couple of years. I think with all the politics and the things that are happening, I feel like it's safe to fix and flip again. I paused during 2022 and 2023 and 2024. I paused primarily because I saw interest rates going up. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I wanted to take myself out of that risky situation. I'm now back in the situation of fixing and flipping because fixing and flipping, my friends, is not a full-time business. Fixing and flipping is a side hustle that you chase when interest rates are going down or they are stable. So for us, here's how we get all of our money. First and foremost, we go to myinvestorloan.com, and myinvestorloan.com will give me 90% of the money that I need. So when I borrow the money, they give me 90% of my 465 and they give me zero renovation money. So I need renovation money on top of this. I need another $100,000. Where does that money come from? And where does the 10% come from that my investor loan will not give me? That comes from Gators. So what we did is Molly and I brought in literally 30 Gators, small chunks of money each, and we put 30 Gators into their first deal with me on this house. Who is making the most amount of money with the least amount of risk in this entire deal? Who's making the most amount of money with the least amount of risk and the least amount of work? Well, I'll tell you, the worst is the fix and flipper. The amount of work, the time, the energy that this is going to take, hiring crews, managing those crews, knowing those crews are not going to screw you over, not going to take too much money. They're actually going to finish the project and do a good job for you. Everybody that's ever done a renovation knows exactly the pain I'm talking about. This is a risky situation to be in, and it requires a little bit more training. It requires a little bit more balls, I would say. And we obviously have the balls. We've been doing renovations I've been a contractor for 10 years and a real estate investor for 12 years. For 22 years, I think I'm okay taking the risk. We are going to sell this property. I'll give you guys the math. Check this out. So 465, I'll be into it for the purchase price plus the renovation. I'll be into this about 565, and I will sell this property for $680,000. So after closing costs, after interest payments to the Gators, after interest payments to my investor loan, utility fees, a little bit of buffer, the agent's getting paid, my team will walk away maybe making $50,000 to $60,000. Okay, but who carries all the risk? Us. Who has to have all the skills? Us. Who has to go through all the bull crap with the city and pulling permits and knowing what to do? And more importantly, walking through the property and knowing how to add the value. This is not a normal house. Sometimes I go into a house, it's paint, carpet, easy. Anybody can do that. This is not that house. We're going to walk through a little bit of some troublesome situations that I have to overcome. And I want you guys to watch what I think is the best thing. And I want to get your guys' take in the comments down below. So in order for me to make $50,000 or $60,000, this will take me a total of probably 6 months. Okay. The renovation will be 3 months and selling the property will be 3 months. Half of a year of my life to make $50,000 to $60,000 with all the work and energy that goes into this. Granted, I'm not using any of my own money, but I still have to have skills and risk and other things. Who is the person that made the most amount of money for the least amount of work? Who do you think it is? It's going to be SubTo student Heidi making $25,000, and it's going to be the Gators who literally did not have to find the deal. They did not have to manage the deal. They have zero downside. I gave these Gators a personal guarantee against the money they put into the deal. They have zero risk and they have only upside. And what's cool is Heidi and the Gators get to watch how I go through this project, and they get an education because they are essentially partners on the deal. Okay. Now, Josh, of course, he started out as Heidi and he upgraded to Josh. He goes out and finds those deals. Him and I put the most amount of work in to make big chunks of money. It's going to be Heidi and it's going to be the Gators. So if you guys want to be Heidi, the bird dog, you want to find those, again, link in the description down below, a free training on how you can bird dog deals for me and other people in Owners Club. But the most important thing that we do in our community is connect, connect, connect. This is how you make money. You as a Gator connect with these people. The fix and flippers connect with these people. You connect and 8 or 9 people all make money on the same project. If you're brand new, I would suggest you start out learning from me how to be a bird dog or learning how to be a Gator, one of those two. Sometimes you'll upgrade and you'll do both, but you've got to make a decision of where you want to fit in to these situations. So let's go through this project. Let me show you some crap that I have to deal with. And I want to see what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. So the first thing is, this is an older house, and the older house has some stupid shit that happens with it. First and foremost, look at the drywall. We have to smooth coat all of this drywall. There's not one matching drywall pattern, and everybody is gonna walk in here and see this ugly, mashing, gross, like oatmeal all over the walls. All new drywall, okay? We also are gonna have to open this up, put a beam in here. Now, if this is my dining room, think about how small this dining room is. We're gonna sell this for roughly $700,000. And why is that? Is because this house is in a very desirable area. It will sell for $700,000 or roughly there. What the hell is this? Why do I want a fireplace in the middle of my dining room and my kitchen? This is the dumbest place for a fireplace. It's so dumb. It does not make any sense. And so we're probably gonna have to decorate it and make it look really nice because I don't want to get rid of it. Somebody's gonna go, why did you get rid of a wood burning fireplace? We will keep it, but that's gonna turn some people on and some people off. That's the least of our worries, by the way. Beam, super simple. You can see our guys came in here and said, do we need a beam? The answer is yes, we do need a beam. Now, super small, what we call this is a galley kitchen. We're gonna obviously add tons of can lights, tons of everything, but this is where the problem is. You come this way, and when we bought the deal, my friends, come down here, Ben, let's show them this little drop down. When we bought the deal, we thought this was part of the house. We couldn't get into the house and see everything because there was trash piled up so high that we just assumed this was part of the living area. It's not. This is not permitted. That's a major problem. And more importantly, it's such an ugly roof design. Like, what the hell is this? This is so weird. Now, I do believe we found the solution to this. This is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna pour up the concrete in here 4 inches. We're gonna turn this used to be a breezeway to the carport. We are going to close this up. Pantry door, pantry shelves in here. This is now gonna be the pantry for the kitchen. This area is just gonna be another common area, another hangout place, maybe another place to have another TV, another place that can be different from the living room. So the living room could be more formal. This could be a little bit more informal, hanging out on the back patio. This could be a bigger dining room, something along those lines. So we're gonna finish this off. Now, where I figured this out is right here, we're gonna frame a wall. There's gonna be a wall right here. And this, my friends, is going to be an office for the primary bedroom. So the primary bedroom comes off. This used to be the exterior door. We're now gonna frame this closed all the way across. We're gonna put a desk right here and a sliding glass door that goes to the backyard. This gives you the ability to have a private office right off of your primary bedroom. It gives actual value because this house is a very small house, 3-bed, 2-bath house, and there's no extra space for people that are working from home. So this solves that problem, and now we can make this usable square footage. Let me know what you think about that. And these are the things you've got to worry about. You've got to gamble. This is a gamble. I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know if a buyer's going to walk in here and go, man, I really like that the office is kind of secluded in the primary bedroom, and I like that it has its own entrance. I really like these things. Or somebody's like, dude, why don't you make this a bigger closet? Because check this out. And I don't know my buyer. My buyer's not here telling me what they want. We've got some nice closets. The people that sold the house to us actually got some built-in closets. This seems like we're going to win in this situation, but think, this is a gamble. What if I gut all of this out and I just make a big ass bedroom, but I turn that into a closet? That might be the way to go. I don't know. This is why fixing and flipping is risky. If it was my house, I would just want a much larger bedroom, right? I would tear all of this out. I would turn that into a closet and I would just office at my office. But there's a lot of people that are in this area that love to work from home. And so I think the gamble is to keep the bedroom a little bit smaller, keep the closets larger, and turn this into a workable office area. Okay, so check this out. We're calling this the power shower. So anytime you can get 2 people in the shower, you know what I'm saying? Power shower. We're gonna be knocking out this old air conditioning ductwork. This is where the return would suck the air up into the attic. This now gets demoed out, and we're gonna turn this into a massive, like 7-foot by 6-foot shower, 2 people in, 2 shower heads. I think that's a magnificent way to do that. And then we'll have 2 vanities here, new window, new mirror, and then a little toilet. This is definitely cramped. If I could, I wish I could just turn that into the actual bathroom. I wish I could do more with this and expand the bedroom out and keep the closets, expand the bedroom, and put the bathroom here. The problem with that is I don't want to trench a 3-inch freaking drain from the toilet out here. It goes, your budget starts climbing and you go, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna get that back. I don't know if I'm gonna get that back. If I go spend $7,000 to do that, fill up the concrete, do the plumbing, am I going to get that money back? Fixing and flipping is not for the faint of heart. It is gambling. It is hoping that your choices are gonna line up with the buyer's choice. Guys, it is so much harder than you think it is. Now, while we're back here, let me show you the other cool thing that we are gonna do. And I think that this will actually add value to the property. So this cool little ADU is a non-permitted ADU. ADU stands for accessory dwelling unit. Oh, so check it out. So come on in here, Ben. This could be turned into a gym. It could be turned into an office. It could be turned into a bathroom, like a cool little apartment. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add a bathroom in here, a shower, a toilet, a sink, no kitchen. And it's just gonna be another place that somebody can come in here and work. Now, they could have a podcast studio in here. They could have their office, but we think more and more people are going to be having family members live with them. And because this has alleyway access, somebody could rent this out for $500-600 a month. We are not going to count on this being in the appraised value of the house, but we think keeping this in here, solidifying it and really turning into something that's livable will add value to the buyer, even if it doesn't help out with the appraised value, if that makes sense. We could spend an extra month getting this permitted, or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it may be, and getting architect drawings, but we're just going to say to hell with that. We're not going to mess around with any of those things, and we're just going to get as fast as we possibly can through the project. When you're flipping, it's all about speed. And the reason being is because as a fix and flipper, I'm burning through money every single day, right? I borrowed money from myinvestorloan.com. I borrowed money from Gators. And so, yes, I don't have any of my own money here, but I need to turn a profit. In order for this to be worth my time, I need to make probably 50 to 60,000 bucks, okay? Now, these bedrooms are a little bit small. Really not much that we're gonna do here other than smooth out the drywall, add new doors, throw some can lights, same thing in here. So this side of the house is relatively simple, like really simple, drywall paint. Of course, we'll do wood floors throughout. We won't do any carpet. We stopped doing carpet on our flips a long time ago. The biggest challenge is that primary bedroom, which is the most important part of the house. Primary bedroom and the kitchen. That's where my two problems are. So again, going back to the risk profile of each one of these individual avatars, who do you want to be? If you're going to be in this real estate game, you want to be the person finding the deal, skills, a lot of training, negotiating, all of those types of things. I teach that in SubTo. Do you want to be Heidi, who all she had to do is connect these two people? Well, if you want to be Heidi, I made a free training, link in the description down below, show you guys how to be a bird dog. And then if you guys want to be a Gator, every Saturday we do a training on how to get into Gator and learn all about the Gator things. Link is in the description as well. And finally, if you guys have projects you guys want to see, you guys want to work with me, down below in that training, it will see your buy box. Thank you for your guys' support. Thank you for hanging out with this video with me. And if you're brand new, stay away from this. Do not fix and flip. This is a risky business. Do not fix and flip unless you have an experienced partner, maybe somebody inside of SubTo. Focus on these two avatars first, or transaction coordinator. If you're the transaction coordinator that did all the paperwork here, you also make money with no risk. So that's a great thing as well. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys in the next video.